and thank you for tuning in tonight for Cups and Conversations. Tonight we have season 1, episode 5. Now, guess what? I am going to give you all a double feature in the month of May because May is my birthday month. Hey, happy birthday to me. So I'm going to give you all a double feature. We're going to have episode 5, part 1, and episode 5, part 2. Plus, it is Mother's Day month. So we are going to bring some magnificent, motivated mothers on the show for the next 2 episodes. So thank you for joining us. We have so much to talk about, just about being a great mother and a great woman. I am going to share with you some people, some women that are near and dear to my heart. First, I'm going to introduce to you my son's bonus mother. Her name is Tracee Duncan. I am going to bring her on so she can introduce herself and tell us what's in your cup.
Hey everyone, like Dara said, I am Devon's bonus mom. And in my cup, I have my family who are near and dear to my heart. My cup is filled with all the love, the joy, the dedication to my family. And I am very privileged to be on this journey, not with just myself, but with my family as well as with Dara and my bonus baby, Devon.
Yes. And when I say she is a phenomenal bonus mom, I'm not saying that because y'all watching. I'm saying that even when y'all ain't watching. When I say she is phenomenal, and I mean she loves her children. She loves her children. She stops the world if they feeling ill. She stops the world if they hungry. She stops the world. Honey, she stops the world. She loves her baby. When I talk about sacrifice, that is her. And I am so honored that I can go on this journey and raise my son with such an amazing woman. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Next, I am going to bring on my girl, Taisha Gardner. Taisha, introduce yourself and tell us what's in your cup.
Hello, I'm Taisha, and most people call me Ty, and I have coffee in my cup, but if you look closely, you'll see my cup says, "You grow, girl." And so I like that, like nice quotes, and I like this one because we are constantly growing and developing and learning, so I'm always a student, so that's why I've chose this cup today.
Thank you, love. Yes, you grow, girl, because we are all growing. And when I say we are all growing, I mean just that. If you are the same person that you was a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you need to get around some people that's going to push you, that's going to help put the nutrients, plant the seeds, shine the light, whatever it is to help you get to the next level. Because you should not surround yourself around people that are okay with who you have been for the last 10 years. Get around some good folks. So again, thank you for joining us tonight on Cups and Conversations. We are about to get into it. Welcome to Cups and Conversations. Right, so now we are going to bring all of us on together. These phenomenal personalities. Hello, ladies. So first question, before we get our paddles and get into game time, I just got the question of, what is motherhood? What is your definition of motherhood, Tracee?
My definition would be someone that can make sacrifices. Because we're always going to be sacrificing something, whether it be we can't get this because our child needs this, situations like that. Nurture. You have to be a nurturer. You have to be able to guide these kids, like little birdies, because they all going to start out not knowing anything. And if they ain't trained right, they're going to go in the wrong direction.
Yes.
So that's what we pride ourselves in, is the fact that we make sure that everything is on the straight and narrow. But motherhood, for me, the biggest thing is love and sacrifice and just being there.
Yes.
Here.
Yes. Okay. Taisha, what is motherhood?
Okay, so I agree with everything Tracee said. In addition, I feel like mothers wear many hats. So I feel, mothers are nurturers by nature. Become a prayer warrior, a teacher, motivational speaker. Uh, you give guidance, love, unconditional love and support, and you have to have a lot of, be able to forgive and teach them forgiveness, and just live by example, because they're always watching. They listen, they pay attention to more to what you do than more than what you say.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Explain to the world, do you have boys? Do you have girls? And how many children do you have? Go ahead, Ty.
Okay, I have 4 children total. I have 3 girls. I have twins. The twins are 26. They're both paternal twins, girls. And then I have a younger daughter who's 23. And then I have a bonus son. He's my son too, that I acquired through marriage. That's my only son I have. So I have 4. Although my ex-husband passed away, we still, son. So, and he knows that.
Tracee, how many children do you have? And are they boys or girls?
I have 4 and a bonus, and I have 3 boys and 2 girls.
Yes. And I know you said your children are in their 20s. Your bonus son, Ty's, and he's in his 20s too?
Yes, he's 24.
Okay. And then Tracee, your youngest is?
My youngest girl is 12. My oldest girl is 30.
Uh-huh.
My oldest son is 25. Then I have 19-year-old, and then my bonus baby is 14.
Yes. And her bonus baby is my baby, which is 14. I have a bonus daughter that is 15, and then my oldest son is 18. He will be 19 in June. So this show is to speak to the parents of teenagers and young adults, because it is our job to direct them and to give them guidance. But I know, Ty, when you were speaking, you was talking about the fact that our children are always watching us. And that it's important that we set the tone and we kind of be that example that they need, because they're always watching us. So would you say that, pretty much we're good examples as mothers? Would y'all say that y'all are good examples as mothers?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a pretty good example. And I feel like, we all make mistakes. So
Right.
That's right.
None of us are infallible. So we make mistakes, but how you handle those mistakes in front of your children matter too. So they need to see how mistakes are handled, how you correct, how you apologize, how you move forward after the mistake. So those are good lessons as well. And how to not just keep being a repeat offender. When you're apologetic about something, changes, the goal, not to just say, I'm sorry.
That's right. I agree. Anything you want to add, Tracee?
I was going to say, and they are quick to say, well, you did it. Why can't I do
it?
So,
Hey.
Lead by example.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Absolutely. I want you to make the same mistakes that I made. So
yep.
You have more information. Right. I want you to do better, take the baton and run even further than I did, and do things differently, because you have additional knowledge that, maybe we didn't have as parents, or, just different choices that we made. Then you have a better opportunity to make better choices based on somebody else's experience.
I agree. Totally agree. Okay, ladies. Okay, we done introduced ourselves. We done gave them a little bit. Now we're going to get into game time. Ladies, get your paddles ready, because it's game time.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask some questions, and these ladies have their paddles. So if you agree or it's good, thumbs up. If you do not agree or we still working on it, thumbs down. First question, because I know being a mom is fun. So do you all do TikToks with your kids? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Sometimes.
Tracee, why the thumbs down?
Not at all. My kids wouldn't even want me to do a TikTok. However, Madison, she thinks she's doing TikTok, but really she's just recording videos, and I try to stay out of that. So,
and Madison's
my granddaughter.
There we go. Yes. So you don't do TikToks with Maddie?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Okay, Ty, you do?
I've done a couple with them. I mean, they're young adults, so now they're more, I think teenagers more so not want to do that. But my
right.
Sometimes I don't want to do stuff, but they're like, come on, Mom.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So are there times, next question, are there times when your kids make something that is so simple to us so difficult? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Explain yourself. Come on, Ty. When? Give us an example.
Oh, how many examples? Which time you have? Well, because of experience, like we have to be, and I've had to develop patience because a lot of times, I want them to get something that it took me a while to get, but it was so long ago, you forget that it was a process for you. Or I had to grow up. I grew up in a different time period than they did, so a lot of times you think, like, oh my God, why didn't they get this? But at the same time, my kids were a little more sheltered than I was. And I'm the oldest child. So I had to grow up a little faster than my kids did. So they got to, be kids a little longer than I did. So a lot of times I can't even begin to give you an example because there's so many of them of when my kids do stuff like, just for example, cleaning, like just simple tasks. Like if you do it right the first time, you don't have to do it over. So those types of things, or how to, when they do go for job interviews and things like that, I'm explaining, doing the questions, like the mock interviews and stuff like that. Certain questions, like, you should know the answer to that. But, I have to keep in mind that I've been doing this stuff a lot longer than they have.
Right.
And I am supposed to be their teacher. So they're coming to me for guidance and advice. So I have to, just take the time to tell them what they don't know. Sometimes you assume they know stuff because they're watching you.
Yeah.
At times they see, but they don't, they don't connect the dots. So you got to connect for it.
I agree. Tracee, there are times it makes stuff so difficult.
Like Ty said, it's too many. However, I know I catch myself a lot of times saying, okay, use your common sense. Like, how do you not know this? For example, let's just say vacuuming. After they're finished vacuuming, you know how you neatly wrap it up and put it where it's supposed to go. They will leave all of the gadgets, attachments out and everything. And it's like, it's just common sense. Just put it back how you found it so that when you're looking for it the next time, you have everything you need. But it's small stuff like that. But it's also stuff that we don't realize, that, like Ty was saying, that they don't know how to do certain things. Because I've caught myself plenty of times saying, oh, well, you should know how to do this, or you should know how to do that. How if I've never taught them?
Hey.
I just assumed that when I was 14, I knew how to do it. So I assumed they should know how to do it too. So, but it's all a learning thing.
It is. And I want to piggyback off what you just said, because when we were younger, us growing up, we had to figure stuff out. A lot of times your mom would tell you to go do something, even if you didn't know how to do it, you're going to go do it to the best of your ability, because back in that day, you don't do something right, I used to get whoopings. We were in a different time where we had to grow up. Parents was at work, you was at home with your siblings, you had to figure out how to cook, you had to figure out how to clean. House had to be clean when you got home from school. You do your homework, you clean this house before you can go outside. You got to be in front of the house before the street lights come on. It was a whole lot of rules and stuff back then. Do y'all think that we done got so lackadaisical that, we just don't have that structure with our children that we had growing up?
I would say, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know in my case, I try to put myself in the kid's shoes a lot of times, as far as, okay, well, how did I feel as a kid during X, Y, and Z? So I'm kind of a little bit laid back in certain aspects, because not that I don't want to hurt their feeling, but I just know I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there. So I just try to give them the opportunity to, do things right the first time. And then if you don't do it right, like we would expect you to do, like, that we expect you to do, then we'll go from there going forward,
Got you. Good point, Ty.
Yes, I think we definitely kind of relaxed a little more. I mean, my kids think I was strict. That was probably stricter than most parents my age, because I was raised by my grandmother. So I wasn't raised on, family. I was raised by grandma. So my grandmother was old school. And so a lot of I didn't change everything she did, because a lot of it is still relevant today. But a lot of things like that, the explaining of why I want you to do things a certain way, why I'm telling you to do this, I kind of went more in depth and in detail to explain why, so they can understand the why behind why I'm saying, not just because I said so. I mean,
right.
I haven't said that before, but when they come with questions, I explain, or after the chastisement, you
Yeah.
explain, this is why I don't want you to do this, or this is why you shouldn't do these things, because this can happen. These are the consequences, explain further in detail why things can happen. It just, for example, like having premarital sex. I have girls. So you explain. Other thing is birth control. Like that was not a topic in my home. So I had stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have open dialogue and conversations. I've always been like that, age appropriate,
Right.
Each time. But they knew that they could come to me with anything. I mean, now it's probably a little more detailed than I want, but I still listen. Sometimes I sit there and listen. But I didn't have that open dialogue with my grandmother. She did a great job to the best of her. But some of those things, some of those taboo conversations that they didn't touch on or go more in depth on, and plus she was from the South, so certain things she would say that not specifically what it was, she would call it. So I mean, I got it because I knew what it was, but I explained things more in detail than I got when I was younger. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And the reason I asked that question is because, our parents and grandparents and stuff will say, oh, y'all so weak. Y'all so nice to them kids. And I would have done this and I would have done that if that was my daughter, that was my son. That's the type of stuff that I heard, and it is a different time. It's a new day and age. And there's so much happening with teenagers, young adults, even kids in elementary and middle school. They ain't even teenagers yet, and they're going through a lot. And I know that there are some times that we need to show tough love, right. But it is important to have those conversations, because my household was children are to be seen and not heard. That was a rule, so ain't no talking back. Your opinion really don't matter unless I ask for it. And there was very slim chance that they're going to ask for it. So you really just had to just deal with it. No questions asked, really. But that's why we are a little bit more lax, because we know what our childhood looked like. And it's like, I want it to be different, because as the child, you were the one that was affected. So your parents don't know pretty much how you felt, but we knew how we felt. And like, listen, when I have my children, I'm going to do stuff a little different. So I don't really think it's about making them weak, but it is allowing them to express their feelings and let them know that it's okay to express your feelings. Because if not, they're going to learn one way or another. And I always say, I would rather discipline my child now than let the law and the world discipline my child later.
Absolutely.
Because I got 2 boys and a girl, and I ain't trying to have nobody out here hurting my babies, because we're going to have a problem. So, it's best to discipline. So I got my butt whooped when I was a kid. So I brought that with me when I had children, my kids got their butt whooped too, when it was needed. Now, sometimes there was times you can have conversations, but then there's times where you done said it 4 or 5 times and this conversation ain't working.
Yeah.
So with that, I want to ask y'all, it's times where with us having multiple children, though we may have the same set of rules in the house, we have to discipline the children differently. Do y'all agree or disagree?
Absolutely.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, definitely agree. Speak on that, Tracee.
Well, okay. I'll use, for example, my oldest, Aaron. Never had a problem, any issues out of him as far as needing to be disciplined or anything, because it seems like he got it. He understood. However, Vernon, the middle child, he won't get it until he's had to go through the same situations 2 or 3 times, being talked to, and then eventually he'll get it. It's like he's on his own time when it comes to stuff. So back in the day, trying to discipline Aaron was a little bit easier. Well, a whole lot easier than it is with Vernon, because Vernon, he is the child that says, well, why? Just because you said so is, it's not a good answer. And so that was the first time when I thought, okay, yeah, he's cut from a different cloth. So we had to handle him a little bit differently, but it seems to work that way. Like with some kids, you have to stay on them. And some kids you don't necessarily have to, but he knows that at the end of the day, I mean well, his father means well and everything, but it's just a little bit different with all of them. with all of them. But it's the middle one. My middle child is the one who is more vocal and will express his disdain with, well, why not?
So. Yeah, Ty, what about you?
Well, I have the three girls. My bonus son is cognitively impaired, so I have to use probing questions, to talk to him to get different answers out of him besides yes or no. So I'll just say that up front. And then so he's the most mild-mannered one. Very mannerable though, and very respectful. So and but I have three girls too. So twins, they're fraternal. Very different personalities, and they've always been that way. One twin, the oldest twin, is my daughter Sierra. She's like the artsy one. She writes music and does all those types of things, and creative, and does hair and all that kind of stuff. And when I had to stay on in school because she gets distracted easily. The other twin, Sierra, and she's always been just organized, on top of her game. I never had to force her to do homework, never had to do, very studious. She used to get on my nerves talking about, it's 8 o'clock. She wanted to be on time for school. It's 7:05. Doing that type of thing in the morning. Like, girl, please. But she be on time. Girl, you got to drag her out the bed. So it was total, like, polar opposites with the twins. And my youngest daughter is like a mixture of both. Sometimes she's, she's on time and she's studious and she wants to do that. And sometimes, she's artsy. She's kind of like got both ends of the spectrum. And sometimes she's a procrastinator. So and because they're adults, young adults, that time, I don't want to say, when the women experience every month.
Yes.
So I catch it three ways, different, and sometimes all at the same time, but they're very different personalities, and I do have to deal with them differently. Sierra is very sensitive. She's more sensitive than Bree is. Very hardcore. She's my baby girl. So, I can say things to her in a strong manner that she'd be like, okay, Ma, all right. Okay, honey, love you. Bye. That's type of thing. But Sierra, she's like, Mom, you hurt my feelings. So I'll pause and apologize because she's always been, I know she's sensitive. So instead of saying, girl, shut up, go somewhere and sit down. Because that's how I grew up. You gotta suck it up and keep moving.
Yeah.
So, but I don't do that to her because I want her, feelings are, God gave us all these things for a reason. You shouldn't dwell there in the negative space, but you should recognize your feelings and why you're feeling the way you feel. So I kind of, recognize, not saying that I always do, because sometimes it's just like, I have to catch myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's multiple children. So, but when I notice it up front, I do stop and pause, or I'll go back if I don't catch it at first. But she'll let me know. They're very vocal. They're very comfortable coming to me, so they'll let me know. Tierra, on the other hand, she's kind of a mixture. She acts tough, then she'll be sensitive about some things, and it depends. They all over the place.
I love it. I'm just listening, and for the viewers that's listening, these ladies, if they've said anything that makes you feel like you're doing a great job as a mother, you are. And even if you feel like there are moments that you are struggling as a moment, we all do. We all do. Join in and understand that we all struggle as a mother sometimes. There are times that things get hard, but you have to have a support system. You have to have a team. You have to have somebody that you can talk to that can help you get through those tough moments as a mother. Because a lot of times we're not just a mother. We're a mother, we're a wife, we're a girlfriend, a significant other, a boss, got your business, work, whatever you are. You wear, like Ty said, many hats. And to try to focus and be great at all things is a tough job. And sometimes some things are going to get the short end of the stick because you're giving it all in one specific area. So if so far these ladies have said some things that make you feel amazing, thumbs up in the comments. And if there's some questions that you have, put that in the comments too, and we'll circle back around and answer them. Ladies, let's move on to the meat and potatoes. I hear that we are all from blended families, or we have had or have a blended family. Did you all come from a blended family, Tracee?
Yes. Because my father, he got remarried and he has 2 additional children. And then with my mother, he has 3. So it was the 3 girls and then my other brother and sister, but it was never the half and step, none of that.
Right.
We brothers and sisters.
We brothers and sisters. Ty, did you come from a blended family?
I did, but as I said, I lived with my grandmother the majority of my life. So, but my mom she married someone else. I'm the only child by my mom and dad. So my dad married someone. I have two siblings by him and his wife, and I have an older brother. My mom, I have two sisters and a brother by her and my stepfather.
Okay.
So I do on both sides, blended. So we're all siblings. I treat them
That's
all.
right. That's right. That's right. So do you think that helped you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because if I said half, they all would be half because I'm
Right. And I think they are whole people. So we just don't
whole. Yeah, that's
don't think they halves, you know.
Yeah, we don't do halves. They're all my siblings. Yeah, you said that. Do I think that helped me?
Do you feel like that helped you when it was your turn to have a blended family? Did you feel like you received that easily, or was it still a little challenging?
I think, well, I had a good relationship with my son's mom. You know, we didn't have like a tumultuous relationship. We were both adults and, cordial and communicated effectively. So, and then my husband, he did, he made it easier for both of us. So I don't think I had difficulty doing that. And my dad was kind of like that too, with like if he picked me up, he would, take me shopping, he would bring something back for my siblings. So he was very inclusive. So I think him being that way, and then I was raised by my grandmother who took care of, generations of family members. Like like my second cousins are like brothers and sisters to me. So I think a lot of that helped me to be an inclusive person to begin with, because, I was surrounded by, family, multiple family members all the time. And then I saw my dad being inclusive, and just, I grew up in that type of environment where everybody was family. You don't treat anybody different than you do the other one. Treat all the kids. Because, kids asked to be here.
Yeah.
They're here. Going to be in a relationship with someone, you got to accept the whole package. Because that's how I got to accept my 3, I got to accept yours.
Hey, I agree. Tracee, it's your turn. Let's talk about, did your blended family help you to jump into the blended family you have now, or what?
I don't think so. I think it was just natural for me. For instance, with my baby, with Divine, it was just natural. Of course, in the beginning, there's going to naturally be some feelings because it's unknown. You don't know what the situation is going to be like. But being able to be a co-parent with somebody like you, and we get along, I said under different circumstances, we would have gotten along and been friends, any other way, based on how the situation was presented, because you are a genuine person, and you have the same values when it comes to making sure that everything is taken care of with Divine. So, it's something that we don't have to worry about. And like Ty was saying, we're both mature enough. We know the situation. And I also feel like Vernon has made it easier for us as well, because I know with younger generations, the whole baby mama, baby daddy drama and different things, it's all avoidable. It can all be prevented if everybody has a cool head and understands that anything that we do and say is for the betterment of the child involved. So, as long as we stick to that and we all know that, then everything's going to be positive, which it has been with us. So it works.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I big heart Tracee, y'all. And yeah, when it first happened and a baby was coming, it was like, listen, we got to have a conversation. Once we knew about each other, let's say that. Once we knew about each other, it was like, let's have a conversation. When I saw the way this woman loved on my baby, y'all.
That's my baby.
When I saw the way this woman loved on my baby, like, because, I still got to go get him. He's still spending time with his daddy, and I'm like, when I go get him, she's just loving on his baby. And I'm like, it don't matter what has happened. What matters is that this baby is here and you are taking care of this baby like he is your own.
Yes,
ma'am. And I had to go to her as a woman and I had to say, listen, I didn't know, because I did not know, but now that I do, and we got this baby, we gonna raise this baby. All of us are gonna raise this baby. This baby is now all of our baby. And what you need from me, I'm gonna give you that. And she was the same way. What you need from me, I'm gonna give you that, because we want to make sure that this baby has everything that he needs. And as long as he's been on this earth, he has had everything that he needs. And I am not talking about materialistic things, though they got him spoiled. I'm pointing to them. He is. They got him spoiled. I do my part, but
yes, you do.
But Devon is loved beyond any scale you can put that on. And I'm saying that because if he needs somebody to talk to, if he need a hug, if he's having a bad day, right now he's congested. And Tracee's like, look, she's in the background. He's acting like he's dying, but he's fine. He's fine. But we know our son is a drama king. You know, he can have the sniffles. He's like, Mom, I'm dying. I'm dying. And you know, but then don't want to take medicine. But I'm grateful that she pushes him. I'm grateful that she supports him. I'm grateful that he has both sets of parents that cheer him on and support him and make sure that he has everything that he needs. So kudos to
us.
Bonus mama. So I'm grateful for what we have built. And I'm saying that so that we can show other people, other women, other men that, like you said, if everybody has a cool head, everybody can get along. You can't have a blended family. And even when Ty said her father set the standard, like, this is my daughter, but everybody is included. I know she has siblings. With Vernon and us, same way. Right. With Vernon and us, he's not straddling the fence. See, that's where the problem happens. And that's why issues stem with the baby daddy, baby mama stuff. And that's because somebody's still tiptoeing around. Or there hasn't been some closure going on and people's feelings is attached and hurt. But listen, when you got periods at the end of the sentences and you know that life has moved on and we are where we are, all that matters at this point is the child. It's the child. And if we can all mature on that level and understand that it's not about the baby mama or the baby daddy, it is about the child. And if everybody can get along for the child's sake, hey, it would be great, because the child needs two sets of parents that can work together.
Village.
It takes a village, Ty. Exactly. It takes a village. So I did want to jump in on that so that the world can, get some clarity and understand that it may seem weird to people that, you can co-parent and you can get along without taking off your ex's head or whatever. You can get along, but you got to want it and you got to be willing to do the work.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Let's talk about me time. With us having children from different age groups, do you all feel like you get me time, Tracee?
Yes and no, because when I have me time, it always ends up being us time. I mean, there are few and far between times where I'm able to lock my bedroom door, go into the bathroom and just relax, relax in a bubble bath or something like that. So I try to take advantage of it, but 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to knock on the door.
Yeah.
What you doing? Can I come in? But I'm trying to get better at it because I know it's important, because if I don't have the me time that I need, then I'm not going to be able to have the time that I need with them. So,
Yeah. Ty, what about you and me time? You get me time?
Yeah, I'm at a different stage. Mine are
all great. Tell us about your stage.
I have 2 still living home with me. My other daughter, one of the twins, she has her own home. So, but they're older now. So I do have to leave the house to get me time though, because they're here. And then the one that doesn't live here, she's here quite often because I have a grandbaby. So she's over here with him. Sometimes when I get home from wherever I'm at, they're here. So I do have to, create some time for myself though, even though they're adults. But when they were younger, I didn't have a lot of me time. It was, like she said, us time, because I would do these mommy daughter, vacations and stuff. And then we do family vacations, those types of things. And I had to work, go to school. So it was no me time really outside of them. And so, but now I'm at a place where I can travel. I can go solo. We can take a trip together. We can go out to eat together. I can go eat by myself, or I can go on a trip with my friends or family members, and they're fine because they're adults and they know what the rules are when I leave, those types of things. So I feel like, you know, when your kids are older, depending on the circumstances, you will be able to have more me time. So it's important to be present when they're younger, though. So you don't get a lot of me time then. But you know, because mine used to, I got off work, I was sitting in the driveway to just get rest. When I work remotely now, but when I was even here, even now, I mean, before I started working remotely, I would sit in the car because that was a habit. I would sit in the car for about 30 minutes in my drive, and then go in the house, and I would get all the mail, and I would go in the bathroom. My kids would be knocking on the door. They would be sliding notes under the door. What are you doing? Seriously, they would call me at my job, you know, constantly. I mean,
well, that means you're a good mom, because when, like y'all saying, you gotta run, you gotta hide. So that means your kids always want to be around you. That's good.
They're girls, so I still have to hide now too, because I on my daughter. I went to Gainesville, came back, my daughter in my bed. I mean, just in my room like it's hers. The one that don't live. So one of the twins, the one that's going to school to be a doctor, she sits on my lap still. She's the smallest one, but she sits on my lap sometimes. And they just, you know, they like to be sitting there, and I like my space. You know, when I grew up, my family wasn't as affectionate. So I'm probably, because when I had kids, they made me more affectionate. But they not as affectionate as they want me to be, because I'm like, okay, that's enough. And they say, stop patting me when you you hug and church and pat. So, but I do, you know, we tell each other we love each other every time we communicate on the phone, when we leave the house, when we come back. I do that with all of my family members. Like, some of them say it back, some of them don't. Some of them didn't say it at all in the past, but because I say it all the time, they just started saying it back. So, you know, the kids bring stuff out of you that, you know, you didn't have before, because of that, you know, that connection you have with them. And you didn't know you were missing it until you had kids of your own.
I agree. Yes, ma'am. So on that note, we're going to go to what's the meme mean. So I'm going to play what's the meme mean. A meme's going to come up, and you all tell me what that meme means to you. So here we go.
Now tell me what the meme means.
What the meme mean? What the meme mean?
Okay, so that meme is talking about being a mother is not about what you gave up, but what you gained by having a child. So let's talk about that. Do we feel like when we first had our first child, I know it was a while ago, but do you feel like that, you know, you gave up something when you had, or I wasn't ready, or my life wasn't what I wanted it to be, and now I'm having this baby, but now you can see that having that baby was probably one of the best things that could ever happen to you? Tracee, you want to elaborate?
I will. Okay, you know my story. I was 14 years old when I had my daughter, who is now 30. She had her first child at 25, and my goal for her was always, please don't become a teen parent. You know, finish school and do all of that, and then make the decisions, you know, after that. And she made it to that, and that was a huge blessing. But having her at 14, I feel like I lost a lot. I was in the 8th grade. I didn't get to go to regular school with my regular friends and all of that. I instantly had her and started working. So I would go to school, which was at Westport Tap, where I could bring her and everything. And then I would go to work. So while everybody was out partying and living their life, you know, as young teenagers, I felt like those were the things that I was missing out on. However, now with her being 30 and with me having other kids as well, having her young prepared me to be the mother that I am now, because I was able to learn a lot, you know, by the school that I went to. And I always said that if every teenage mother had the opportunity to go to TAP and learn how to take care of their kids and everything, then the world would be a better place, because that's why I learned it all. But hindsight looking back, it took a lot from a 14-year-old, but it helped me gain a lot of knowledge in regard to how to be a good mother. So
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And a great mother you are. Thank you, Chad. Ty.
Yeah, she sounds so calm and cool, calm and collected. I'm
And
loving
that's
it.
how she is all the time. You hear me? Listen, that's why it's so easy for us to get along. Go ahead, girl.
Yeah, she got a sound like she got a sweet spirit. Both of you are sweet, though. I know Dara's sweet too. So I had the twins when I was 20, and I was kind of sheltered. My grandmother had me in church 24/7, Kojic. So I got pregnant. I was in college, my first year of college, and I got pregnant. So and what was the question? Did you do I feel like it took something away from me? I feel like I didn't get to do a lot. I didn't get to finish school on time. I did go back and finish. But I did gain a lot. I feel like when I had my babies, even at 20, when I gave birth to them, I felt like they were blessings from God. The babies are blessings, regardless of how they got here. God meant for them to be here. They're blessings from God. So, and I feel like they helped me grow up and mature. And they encouraged. My babies were the reason I actually continued to go to school, because I wanted to show them that if I could do it I had 3, I had another one. So if I have 3 babies and I went to school full time and work full time, I wanted to eliminate their excuses for accomplishing their goals. So I always, use them as my, motivation once they were here, to not think of them as something that was holding me back, but they actually motivated me to do more and to be a great mom and try to, not a perfect one, but a great one, and try to just do my best to take care of them and give them what the tools, not just money, but, plant seeds and instill some things in them that, I knew they needed for life. So I feel like my kids are blessings, and they blessed me with a lot of things, because I learned a lot really fast when you have babies. Still learning every stage. That I do have to say this: every stage of their life, of their journey, you learn. You're constantly growing and learning with your children. So at 20, when I had babies, that was one stage, and I started. I was still growing up and developing myself. So as they got older, every stage, you got to learn how to deal with them at every stage. So it's a learning process. And, that's the most important job we all have. I think as a parent, that's your most important job ever, because, you're guiding someone through life. And I don't take it lightly. I know you ladies don't either, because you're working together to make it happen. So that I never took lightly. I didn't do a lot of partying. Like you said, Tracee, I was older, but I didn't do a lot of partying. I didn't want to leave my kids with a lot of people, because a lot of things happen. So I stayed home with mine, and I didn't let them go a lot of places, because I didn't trust a lot of people. My kids were as safe. I could keep them as safe as possible within my control. So I made the sacrifice. So I don't think it's I lost something. I feel like I made sacrifices. Anything that you want is worth having, is worth sacrificing for. So I feel like everything I sacrificed for my children was worth it, because I'm seeing the fruit of my labor now in a lot of things. Some things I don't like, but a lot of things they could be doing a whole lot of different things that they're not doing. So they're pretty well-rounded young ladies, and doing, they made me proud in a lot of ways. So I don't feel like any of it was in vain.
Good stuff. Yeah. So I have a follow-up question, because it does sound like we are some proud mothers. Now, there are some teenagers and young adults here that may not have a good relationship with their mother, or may not have a mother figure. What type of advice can you give to that teen or that mother when it comes to not having that relationship? Tracee?
I would probably tell them to try to incorporate some type of relationship with another family member, or somebody who they can have, maybe like a mentor, that would be able to shape and mold them into the individual that they need to be. Because like I said earlier, it's easy to go into the wrong direction, so as long as we just keep them focused and motivated, then hopefully anything that any information or advice that you are able to give them, then hopefully they will take that and run with it.
Yeah, I agree. Ty, any advice you have for the teen or the parent, that just feels like that they don't have a parent, or they don't have an attachment? They may not have a relationship, especially with you saying that you wasn't raised by your mom. Go ahead.
My mom is still alive, and I love my mom. Don't get me wrong. But we don't have a mother-daughter, the typical or traditional mother-daughter relationship, because I was raised by my grandmother, and before that, like, I lived with my great-grandparents until I was 5. So we don't have that traditional relationship. However, I forgave my mom. I had, sometimes you got to do work on yourself. It's not about getting an apology from another person or, a parent sometimes, but in order for you to move on and to succeed in life and to heal, you have to forgive and move on. And sometimes you won't get an apology. I didn't get an apology, but I told my mom I forgive her anyway, and I still love my mom. That doesn't erase, the things that she did or didn't do. But forgiveness is for you, and it's for it's for me. It's for all of us. So I think it's important to learn to forgive. And like Tracee said, find someone else. There's always a ram in the bush. God will provide somebody to stand in the gap. So find somebody that's, going in a positive direction, like a role model or someone in their family or friends, teachers at school. Like I had a lot of teachers that I thank God for to this day, because even the stuff that I didn't get at home, even with my grandmother, because she wasn't like into, like school like that. But a lot of teachers took me under their wings. And, when you find that, you kind of gravitate towards the positive things in life so you can go in the right direction, So I would just say, and even for the parents who've made mistakes, try to work it out and have a relationship with your child. If you're wrong, apologize. If you're in a space to do that, if your parents don't apologize, try to forgive anyway for yourself. It's most important for you. And then go to counseling. If you have a strange parent or child relationship, go to counseling and pray about it and go to counseling, because as long as you're still alive, you still have an opportunity to fix it or come to an agreement where you can have a cordial relationship.
Yes, ma'am. I love it. I love it because, like Ty said, children didn't ask to be here. And whether we're ready to be a parent or not, you got to get ready. I mean, there's no way around that. Like, I get it that sometimes we out here and we're doing things and we're practicing and we're having fun. And sometimes that fun turns into, hey, I'm a parent now. So with that being said, you just got to make the decision. If you made the decision to keep the child, and I'm going to say that because we're living in a world where you have the option. But if you make the decision to keep the child, then you made the decision to be a parent. And if you made the decision to be a parent, with Tracee, she had TAP that helped her. With Ty, she had grandparents and great-grandparents that helped her. I had my parents that helped me. I had my in-laws that helped me, moms, I had people in my life to help me be a great mother. And when I say be a great mother, we had to see other mothers. We had to see other people that maybe weren't great mothers. And we're like, oh, no, I ain't doing that, or we had to experience different things with different women where it was like, okay, that's not a trait that I want. But then we had people around us that was like, oh, that's good. That right there is good. I think I'm gonna take that. I think that I'm going to apply that. So I say all of that to say, if you are a parent and you are struggling to be a parent, get you a circle, join some circles. We got social media now. You can join different moms groups. You can go, if you have a church family, you can find a mother's program there or different mothers, or if you're in a community, or if you got cousins, aunties, whatnot. Speak to somebody, because being a parent is hard. You are going to face so many challenges being a parent, because guess what? Motherhood has no rule book. Yes, you have the Bible and you can read it. And there's a lot of information that's great in the Bible. But there are times today that stuff happens and you are like, where can I find it? What page in the Bible? Listen. Hey, you can't find the book fast enough. So I'm saying that because I know it can get overwhelming being a mother. But breathe. Go into the bathroom, lock yourself in there. Go into your room, lock yourself in there. Go sit in the car for an extra 30 minutes before walking in the house. Whatever it is that you have to do to clear your mind. Take the hat off that you had on and put the mom hat on. Whatever it takes. Because guess what? Those children need you. And God saw fit to make you their mother. He could have gave many mothers, but he gave them to you, which means you have everything that you need for those children that he gave to you. It's not your job to mother everybody else's kids, but it's your job to mother your own. So with that being said, I'm going to go to the challenge. Mothers, mother your children because they need you. Please put in the comments if anything that we have said has helped you. Like, subscribe, and bang that bell so you don't miss any content. Here goes the challenge. Right, so I am challenging you, everybody that's watching, and my phenomenal women that's on the show today. I challenge you for a weekly check-in challenge. And that challenge is to check in on your children weekly. Find out, like just talk to them and ask them, what can I do for you? How can I help you? What's going on in your life? Sometimes children are open to have that conversation. Sometimes they'll say, oh, I'm good. I don't need nothing. But continue to do that. Be consistent. And one day they may tell you what they need. But they need to know that you have created a safe space for them. Because if they don't feel safe, they're never going to open up. But if you can create that safe space and you can show your children that you are consistent and, hey, I'm not going nowhere. No matter how many times you mess up, no matter how many times you don't listen, no matter how many times you keep messing up your money and keep asking me to come and bail you out of situations, it does not matter. If you bring an F home one more time, I'm not gonna, sometimes kids feel like I done made mama mad so many times, I don't even think I can go to it no more. And that's a hard feeling for a parent to feel like my child can't come to me. My child doesn't feel safe talking to me. And if you feel like that as a parent, keep going to that child. Keep finding a way to mend that relationship because, like Ty said, sometimes there are mistakes that are made and that relationship feels like it's broken. But as long as you got breath in your body, you can fix it. So the challenge for all of you is to do weekly check-ins with your children. Just let them know you love them and that you are here and you want to make sure that you are providing a safe space for them to communicate their thoughts and their emotions with you. I tell my kids all the time, tell me the truth. I don't care how ugly it is. Tell me the truth because I'm the one that's going to get you out of the situation. So if you don't lie, you can lie to everybody else you want to, but me, you better tell me the truth because I need to know what I need to do to get you out of the situation. So other than that, I'm going to bring these phenomenal women back on and allow them to give you their final pours. Wasn't they amazing? Yeah, let's clap it up because they was amazing. They were amazing. So I'm going to bring them back on so that they can give you their final pours. Anything that you all want to say to mothers, because it is Mother's Day. Every day is Mother's Day. Love on your mama every day. So happy Mother's Day to everyone. And Tracee, I'm going to bring you on so that you can give your final pours to the world. Tracee?
My final pours to the world would be to take it one day at a time. Motherhood is not easy. It's by far probably one of the hardest tasks that you will be tasked with. But take it one day at a time, one foot in front of the other. Be positive, and you will succeed.
Ty, go ahead with your final pour.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. My last pour would be to just walk in love and forgiveness. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat your kids up. I'm not talking about physically, but don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on your children, but just, and have an open door policy, where your kids can feel comfortable and safe coming to you because, they need a safe space. And especially with everything that's going on in the world today, they need a safe space. And please make sure you try to be that safe space for them.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. I tell you, I try to Make sure that Cups and Conversations has diversity and has different ways of thinking, because there are millions and millions and millions of people that live in this world, and maybe they can't hear my voice. Maybe they don't understand my words. But that's why I bring other people on that don't sound like me, that don't look like me, and don't think like me. So that way we can pour into your cup. So at Cups and Conversations, we are pouring into your cup because sometimes we are running on fumes. So as I pour from my cup and these ladies pour from their cups into yours, we are leaving no cup empty. Make sure to like, subscribe, and bang that bell so you don't miss any content. And remember, as mothers, we have to rise and shine every single day. Rise in the morning and shine like the sun, because you are needed. Thank you for joining us on Cups and Conversation. Here's to the next one.